first thing I'd like to say is that it's raining men. Greetings, my name is Brian. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Musings. Today we celebrate the killing of one of my absolute favorite bottles, unfortunately, but it has to happen. This is the Four Roses Private Select Barrel Strength, or Single Barrel, specially selected by Brent Elliott, Master Distiller, OESV. If you ever find one of these, buy one for you, and then buy one and send it to me. It was delicious. I finished it very unceremoniously last night while puttering around on the internet, probably playing computer games. But it was delicious. It wasn't quite the same after a while again. It's been in the bottle for a little, with more air than whiskey. Got changed slightly. Not severely, but it was noted. Hi, that's way up there, isn't it? Woo. There we go. Tonight, however, since I killed one bottle, I get to open another. I'm still sore. Anyhow, I saw people in here earlier. See what's going on. 5 fingers. High five. Hello, Chambers. Hi, nerds. Take good care of yourselves. That is all I can even attempt to do every day. Thank you. But it's a great shot. Cheers, sir. Good to see you here. Eddie Butler, hello. I'm so happy to see you and so happy that is off my mind at long last. Oh, I'm so not functional. Now, little known fact, Irene Tan, aka Whiskey Mentors, who I have mentioned and talked about numerous times over the years, just became one of the very first Whiskey Somm level 4s. So that is the other reason for me to open this bottle. Since it's just been sitting there, it was gathering dust, quite literally. I had a little dust on it. I cleaned it off nice. But, it's got one of these flat, squarish bottle sizes, so unsurprising. It was very obvious. Jimmy Jazz, hello. Welcome. Cliff Smith. Oh, just made home from Canada. Why are you still awake? Also, welcome. Good God. Cliff is very familiar with this bottle, too. This is the Whiskey Mentors Caramel Fudge, so I have a general idea of what to expect. Papa KillCo, hello. Welcome. Welcome. Devil's River is a Texas whiskey distillery. I have never been there, but since Irene went there and picked a barrel, I would assume they're fairly good. This thing's all scraped off in the back. Sin responsibly. I like that. It actually says that on the back. Hand selected just for you. Lies. It was selected by Irene just for me. There's a difference. But first I should say I'm already starting with some whiskey here. I have some Eagle Rare in my tiny Whiskey Mentors Glencairn. Can't see it very well, but it says Whiskey Mentors there. And some of you may have noticed, and if not, I'm making sure somebody notices. I've been fiddling with the lighting again. I hope it looks all right. Someday I'll have it just right, but I don't know if that's yet. Exactly, Cliff. They're basically all gone, so I might as well open this one now before I stop myself. I'll be like, oh, maybe I'll just keep it for a special occasion. No, this is a special occasion. Irene's level 4 Whiskey Somm. I say yes. Hello. Welcome. Cheers. Cheers to everyone. Please let me know what you need glass this evening. I don't like to drink alone. I mean, I'll do it, but better if there's some other people doing it at the same time. With that said, that's good. It's still Alcohol Awareness Month, so please take care of yourselves. Oh, that's all I ask. I think I had something in my head that was a good way of putting it. Ask yourself why you are drinking. Something along those lines. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, when you go out with friends or there's alcohol involved, ask yourself why you are drinking. And if it's because you're going to do it in excess, rethink that. Just a little. You know, it's still your choice to do whatever you want, but I recommend rethinking that. And the hardest thing for me is to be aware. And not beware, but be aware of my consumption rate. Because having fun around people, you start to knock them back a lot faster than you intend to. All of us have done that at one point or another. It's just the hardest part is to ask yourself why you're drinking and to keep check of your consumption. Then, of course, you're drinking, so it becomes even harder. But those are the two things I try to tell myself. I also have a big cue. When the front of my skull here starts to feel a little weird in my brain area. Your brain doesn't feel things, but you get my idea. When this starts to feel a little heavy, I need to chill because it's getting to me. Then good evening. Hello. Welcome. My eyeballs are feeling heavy today, and I think they're tired. These are not my current prescription. These are ones that are 4 years old. There's been an issue with the ones I just recently got, so I'm waiting to get those again. I don't want to talk about it. It's not going to help. Oh yeah, Jimmy Jazz, how was your trip? I totally blanked that out. Because, you know, you disappeared. Yes, be aware of them. The world needs more wares, yes. It's like we don't have enough. With that, I will open this momentarily. I want to finish this Eagle Rare that I poured. This is a nice straight-up tack strip. It's not actually a tack strip. It just says product of Texas, which it is. I mean, the color on that, just in the glass itself, is nuts. I'm not going to show it very well. It's got my fingerprints all over it. Yikes. But it looks great for me. Maybe if I do it at an angle. Light is weird. There you go. That's nice stuff right there. It looks like a big old chocolate bar, and I'm like, maybe it'll taste like brownies. Oh, I hope so. I like brownies. How has your week been? How are things? I think I've gotten over most of my complaints. It's another thing I like to do for frickin' Friday is get all the like BS from the week out of your system. Weirdly enough, just saying it out loud or typing it on the internet to other people helps me out a little. It's like, this week sucked, you know. Mine wasn't that bad. The only real stressful part was car repairs. My car needed repair. About $400 something odd dollars. That was great. But it's running nice and smooth now, and I feel so much better driving it because it was getting sketchy. I was getting a little paranoid driving it around. Oh wait, there were two things. There was having to repair the car itself because there was something weird going on with the front left tire, and then the same week, or a week ago at the very least, I had a screw went into one of my tires. There was a slow leak. So I got that patched too. So it's been a vehicle problem week. But that has been done. I managed to get a certain something out to a certain someone else at long last. It had taken far too long to do that. Ooh. Jerk. Yes, has been good. Has been sampling on the good stuff, so to speak. Something about Eagle Rare, man. It smells delightful. Still has that purpley grape note. I think of it as a purple. Something about the word lollipop bothers me, but the purple lollipop, those little cheap ones that you find at dentist offices, strangely enough. Yeah, this music's we're driving today. Oh, he had a saxophone. Look out. Jeez. Me putting that down on my desk is louder than the music. But please let me know if the music's too loud. I can't really tell. Feels like just a little bit. There we go. It's gotta be background music. If it's louder enough that I'm noticing, I might get distracted, which I do frequently. Oh no, what are we doing? What are we doing, YouTube? Are you being angry at me? Yes, you are. YouTube is saying error, blah, 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 something you can't really fix. Ugh. Fun, fun. Casual Friday concert. Oh, casual. BSO. I don't know what BSO is. Boston Symphony Orchestra? Did I get it? I want to go. Almost. There's the first part. There's Symphony Orchestra, which I'm like, oh, that'd be amazing. And then there's Boston. I'm going, ah! I can barely deal with Providence, let alone Boston. I was thinking about it, Cliff. I was like, but what if but here's the thing. You know this, and I know this, but I have learned that if I'm going to be stepping into something that is 61.5%, I do not want to go into this without something else to just prepare myself for that. That's a new thing I've been trying. It's either that or a beer. And I have my water. I try to cleanse my palate as much as possible. But believe me, whatever is in that bottle is going to knock whatever I just drank way out of the way. It's just going to be like, get out of here. 45% Eagle Rare, just get out of here. So that's the only reason I'm doing that, because I found if I do go into a high proof whiskey right away, it's just, like, this is great. But if I'm remembering correctly, this thing does not quite drink like the proof. I'm hoping I remember that. I know the Elijah Craig from last year that I opened up on a stream recently. I don't remember which one. Sunday, maybe? I think so. That did not quite drink at the high proof that it was. We'll have more of that later. It's Friday. Another note on alcohol awareness is my thing. I don't know if you have a thing for when you imbibe, but mine is sure, I'll have another. And that's up here. And I finish a whiskey and it's 12 o'clock at night. Sure, I'll have another. An hour later, it's 1 a.m. Sure, I'll have another. It's bad. I mean, I can usually keep track of it these days, but I'm well aware of that. Sure, I'll have another thing. Oh, yes, and of course, I forgot to do the thing. So please, if you haven't already, I'm pretty sure most of you are subscribed, but if you haven't, do it. You'll know you want to. I mean, look at this. And I've all subscribed now. You can't see, but I have a nice little glowy thing next to me, a salt lamp, which has been sitting in my bedroom for a very long time, not being used. Feed those cats, Cliff. Give them all the pets and the loves. I bet they missed you, probably. Cats tend to do that to an extent. They miss you because you haven't been feeding them. That's usually how it works. Already 15 minutes in. How does this happen? I don't understand time. This happens to me when I play video games, too. I'll just play for an hour. 3 hours later. I had stuff to do. I have, I've started doing that a little, but also I've been purchasing coffee by the pound each month since it's just me making coffee. And I do the pour over method, so I can't make coffee fast. I don't have a Keurig or anything, or an espresso machine, although I really wish I did. So, my coffee consumption is maybe, I say 2 cups a day. I don't mean 2 cups. I mean 2 16-ounce mugs of coffee a day because of the problems my brain has with caffeine. And by that I mean I have a caffeine tolerance. I don't want to say resistance, but a tolerance to it. That, well, no, it is a resistance. Tolerance is because I use it a lot. Like alcohol, you develop a tolerance to the alcohol, which is bad and good, because then you can drink less. What was my point? Caffeine. Yeah, genetically speaking, I am resistant to caffeine. So it takes a lot more caffeine to affect me than it does other people. Not a lot, but enough. Hanging easy, howdy boys. Welcome to this mess. I don't know where Devil's River is. I should have looked up a few things about this distillery before I started, but I didn't. This is Texas Mash Bill. Not sure what that is either. This is 2020. Really? God, this is already 3 years old. No wonder. No wonder. Da-da-da-da-da. There's a lot of stuff on the back. Government warning. I do like them saying sin responsibly. And it is Devil's River. It's got the pitchforks and everything. So the real question is, where the hell is Devil's River in Texas? Fresh Prince and Mocha... French Press and Mocha Pot. Gimme all of it. Yes. Emily Chambers, you also have to give me some info at some point. I'm saying that to remind you and myself, because I will forget. It's right there. It's on the floor ready to go. Just say when. Baba. Babidi boo. Alright, let me finish off this Eagle Rare. It's already been 15 minutes. It's still really nice. Still burning a little too. Which is the annoying part right here, as usual. The other problem that occurs for two reasons with my alcohol consumption is snackies. I don't know about you, but after I drink a little bit, I suddenly am hungry. My problem, unfortunately, is that, one, I probably get a little hungry because I've been drinking and my body's like, whoa! Can we get something to cover that up? There's that. And I also don't eat regularly. Right now I haven't actually had dinner yet. The fact that I had lunch today is astounding. Normally I don't. Usually it's breakfast and dinner. Nothing in between. Not on purpose. Just cause. It's not there. I don't get to the point where it's like, you're really hungry! Until it's too late. Until it's, 5 o'clock. There we go. Oh gosh, there's plastic on it. Shit. Is there a thing? Tell me there's a thing. I think there is. Ooh, there is. Good. Perforation. Every time, folks. Well, almost every time. Feels like every time. Yeah. Does anyone have plans for the weekend? Because I don't. Well, I do. Mine are all not exciting. They are trying to get ahead of the curve once more because it felt really nice to have a bunch of videos just set to go for the entire month. I would like to have that feeling again, but my mental health doesn't always allow that. Especially after traveling. What was I thinking? Here we go. It's gonna feel weird to break this thing. It always feels like some kind of alchemical thing. Like I'm opening this up and some kind of monster comes out because it was sealed. I watch too much anime stuff. They always have a seal on things because there's something evil inside. Oh. Just take this off, it seems. Yeah, perfect. Part of my brain is like, and now take a drink. No. Stop it. Ooh. I'm realizing I'm going to have to pour this bottle a certain way because if I try to do it sideways, it's not going to work. And I'm measuring this for the record. It's a little less than 2 ounces. This is funny. It didn't break. Just came off. There. Can I? Haha! Souvenir. Well, I tried. With that, on to pouring into this glass. Hey. Yeah. Nail it. Not a drop spilled. I did good. Oh man. What the heck, Mr. Great Shot? You get to hang out with all the cool kids. Take him to Andalusia. Do that especially. Or Still Austin, or where's the other ones? Well, Crowded Barrel, obviously. That should be the first one I say, but it isn't. Andalusia has been the one that I like because of its remoteness. And Andalusia and Crowded Barrel, they're really great, does have that wedding area. So there's always a wedding going on, which isn't terrible, but it's also like, I came here for peace and quiet, go away. That might just be me. Let us observe the color. Look at that. Look at it. That's mahogany right there. Oh, I love it. Or a deep cherry wood. Is it a thing? Deep cherry wood? I don't remember. But the color looks fabulous. Fabulous, Mom. And one of the things, of course, I've mentioned many times is that because it's a bourbon, there's no coloring added, so this is just how it turned out. Texas heat does wild things to whiskey. Great Shot isn't a good area. He can go to Crowded Barrel whenever he wants. And Andalusia, but mostly Crowded Barrel. I have the most fun at Crowded Barrel. I like Andalusia for its remoteness. And every time I've gone there, I've been able to talk to the people who work there. I've talked to Ty, I've talked to Moose. I talked to another gentleman, I forget his name exactly, but he was involved with the Texas Whiskey Festival, I think. The thing that just happened last weekend. I think that's what it was called. But that was a nice surprise to talk to him. Like, oh, you're an actual whiskey person who's involved with a lot of things around here. Cool. All right, let's begin with the nose. Oof. It's like cinnamon and red hots up front immediately. Oh, there is a rich molasses to that. I see what she means by fudge. Again, this bottle is called Caramel Fudge. Sugar Kitty me, yo. Hello. Welcome. Oh, they're only gonna be there one day? That sucks. That's rough. That's you're going to be just in the Austin area? Because it's still Austin and maybe Crowded Barrel. Who else is over there? Treaty Oak, Garrison Brothers, there are a few, but I would like Still Austin as the main hub. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Still Austin is going to try to be one of the big name Texas distilleries. They're trying to do that. Just in the amount they're trying to make and the fact that they are advertising more and more. So people will find that whiskey in other places. Maybe not anytime soon, but eventually. I'm trying to figure out what this sweetness is other than just molasses. There's something... Weirdly enough, I'm thinking of fudge, but I'm thinking of salted fudge, which is a strange thing to think about when I'm trying to get the sugar. The fudge is very sugar. I can't eat much fudge. It's like a little bit, and then it's right, I'm done. I am salivating. It smells real good. 5 fingers, I like that. I know that's a typo, but just reading it. Again, I shouldn't do that. I keep every once in a while, and this is a habit I have early on with smelling whiskey, is I will just live in it. I shouldn't, not because it's a bad idea, but it just overwhelms my senses. Graham cracker. Wait. No. Whoa. Ooh. What are those? This is gonna be rough. They got to be like Keebler cookies. They're these round cookies with fudge on the bottom and a little swirly swirl of chocolate on top. What the heck are those called? Sea salted chocolate caramel. Oh my god. Don't tell me that. I've been avoiding candy a little bit lately. Although I have relearned my enjoyment of buying those like big packs of cookies that you bake at home. They're just you pull them off and put them on and they're done. Oh, those are good. I really like baking though. I like making my own freaking cookies, but then I make a lot and then it's just me, so I don't do that. Okay, they're fudge stripes. Okay, I was right. Like they're like Keebler thing. They're a circular cookie. There's fudge on the bottom, and there's stripes or whatever I said, chocolate swirl or something on the top, just like that, back and forth. So it's making me think of those, which are delicious. But I think the last time I had them, they were a little too dry. I don't know why I thought that, but. Trying to figure out if I'm getting a cherry on this. I wouldn't be completely surprised. Not a fancy name, no. I just like, that's what it is. We made it. It's a really nice nose, and I'm, again, surprised that the alcohol itself isn't overwhelming my senses. It is not. I think it might have been a little intense at the first pour when I just brought it to my nose, but now it is just pleasant. Really? I didn't even look at my my actual goings-on over here. Good grief. Get with the program. There we go. Literally. I think one of the things I don't want to say I don't like about whiskey, but when you get that mind block where you smell something, you're like, yeah, I've smelled this before. And then it just stops at that. Like, I know what this is, right? I had it happen yesterday. Someone was making meatloaf. And it's like a meatloaf that had ketchup on it or something. I was like, why does this smell so familiar? What is that? And I figured out it was meatloaf. I should point out it was 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. I'm like, what? Who the heck is making meatloaf right now? Okay, I'm just thirsty now, so cheers everyone. Thank you for being here. Let's see what we think about the palate after the initial sip. Who knows what this will be like. Again, this is 61.2. Let me double check that. Sorry, 61.5. Need coffee or tea? Well, hold on. Something I should be doing. There we go. Those Keebler cookies need coffee and tea. Yes. I know one of the things I used to like a lot were mint Milanos. I would eat those, but those are very dry, and they can go with something. Little tea, little nibble, little tea, little nibble, little tea. But I haven't done that in quite a while. That's a great texture, by the way. Oof. We're good. First initial sip. It's not lingering too much. It's going straight to my brain, though. Yikes. So that could be the Eagle Rare from earlier. Finally getting there. The first thing I noticed was the texture, above all else. The actual taste, I try to not think too much about. Oh, and once again, I caught it right on time this time. But if you haven't, please remember to like the video and subscribe and tell your friends, because we have to feed the algorithm overlords as much as possible if we're ever going to get to 1,000 subscribers. Someday. Hopefully. It is sweet. I'm getting more of the barrel impact initially. It's making me think of this is some kind of Christmas cookie. What are the chocolate cookies that have like a dusting of powdered sugar on top of them? And I think they cracked slightly. I think. I always see them around Christmas, but I don't know what they're called. That's the image that came into my mind just there. Yeah, I have no idea what those cookies are called. They look like just chocolate cookies with powdered sugar on them, but I know they're probably something else. Maybe some kind of ginger cookie? But they're not snappy. I seem to remember them being kind of soft. Oh, well, just take that and table that for a moment. Oh. Wedding cookies. That sounds about right. I got another one. This one's wild. I don't think peanut butter's in here, but this is giving me very strange cookie things. There were, once upon a time, flashback for a lot of people, and the fact that this popped into my head is crazy. At one point in time, Reese's peanut butter cups had one where they had like a cookie on the bottom. So it was like a chocolate cookie of some sort with the peanut butter on top with the chocolate. They were so good. They've ceased to exist as far as I understand it. But that came to mind. I don't know why. I can just imagine the type of cookie at the bottom being similar to that wedding cookie. So I'm not getting so much fudge as a chocolate cookie, but that's, you know, splitting hairs really. Am I really? Oh, there was something there that felt quite. I think it was caramel, but it only showed up for a second, and I thought of it as something that had just jumped out the door when I tried to look over. That was fun. It's not so much dry as it is a little bit spicy, but it's very tame. Lingering finish though. And the mouthfeel is luscious. Is the word I want to use for that. Like, I don't want to, you know, drink it completely because it's just like, that feels good. Sorry, Cliff, don't worry. It's been saved to the internet forever. All that really happened out of humor's sake is I didn't actually break this. It just turned, and now I have it to add to my collection. I don't have a collection. Oh gosh, that's right, you were way over there. You went overseas, you crazy. I'm getting mixed feelings about this having some sort of spice or tea note. Like a spice tea, like a chai maybe. And some kind of incense. I used sandalwood incense once upon a time. Maybe it's that. I tend to like, when I was using, again, there are little things across my life that make me realize why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Having scented candles and incense around relatively often. One was for a purpose once upon a time, but it just became a thing. So I'd have, what were the kind of defaults that I would have? I'd have Macintosh, Apple, Yankee Candles, or Honeydew Melon. What else? Dragon's Blood was the incense I preferred. You never find it, and you'll know what it smells like. I've since stopped using any of those ages ago. One, because they're expensive, and they are letting off, other than the nice smell, you know, candles are a fire source, and they're letting off, what is it, CO2? into the atmosphere, and let's just say the ventilation here is... Ugh. I am drinking the caramel fudge. I'm getting a lot of weird notes. But I did get these, what was it? Some kind of wedding cookie or a cookie crisp, like a chocolate cookie crisp, is the best way I can describe the thing that I'm thinking of that was at the bottom of a Reese's peanut butter cup, which is now extinct. They stopped making them. So anybody have fun? I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna wear your earplugs. They're very loud. Yeah. The caramel sweetness comes in right near in the middle. I'm still not getting strict chocolate. But if we're talking fudge, it's been a hot minute since I had any fudge, for one thing. And I tend to avoid it, really. It's like a little bit I can deal with. But instead I'm getting all these chocolate cookie notes. So, same vein. It's not as sweet as I expected. It's sweet for a moment. And then I get this long finish. That is almost... I don't want to say numb. But it's when a high alcohol whiskey is involved with me, there's almost this numbing feeling after it. Because it's just so high proof. That's not a bad thing. But it makes things complicated. I have some water. Let's see what happens with that. I'll charge my phone. I want to make sure it's almost done. There we go. 1, 2. It really is. It's kind of... Whoops. It's a little ridiculous. I can still feel it on the center of my tongue, even though I just had some water. Only a little bit. All right. It's a bit dry. Right in the middle of my tongue. It is sweet. And right there was the caramel sweetness. I'm still getting chocolate. I got a moment of like a caramel candied apple. I don't know why. And it slowly fades away. And there's just this slight prickly, spicy, and then almost a little bit numb on my tongue. It's very good, but for me, there felt like there was something missing. Or it's just something I can't quite describe. Or I'm not it's not coming to me at all. Which has happened more than once. The mouthfeel, however. So good. Oh my God. Like for that alone. Ugh. And I seem to remember this. Now I've tried to think about it. Out of the few times I've actually had samples of it, the mouthfeel itself was the thing that stood out to me. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I'd like to think this bottle is going to last longer than my Four Roses did. Again, I went to... When did I go to Kentucky? November? October? I honestly don't remember. September? Try to remember. Anyhow, point is, this bottle lasted longer than I expected it to, but it also got annihilated within the first 3 weeks. So, rip to my OESV, picked up at the distillery. I should probably take this off now. Let it dry out. Not that there's anything left in there. I made sure there wasn't. But it's still a sad day. But again, Once you finish one bottle, it means you get to open another. This is the bottle you have to pour this way. Because if you do it this way, it gets weird. Because I know as a whiskey person and as a somm, the worst thing that I have to deal with internally is saying things that don't line up with what other people are saying. It's like, this is caramel fudge. I'm like, is it? Where? I do get a little caramel. I do get a sweetness. I do get some sort of chocolate, but it's not the same exact thing. And I guess that's one of the things I'm trying to overcome personally, but also to help other people overcome that. I don't know what I'm talking about. And not being certain about their own palate. Like if I'm getting strange wedding cookies, or whatever they're called, I'm going to have to look that up later. Then that's what I'm getting. It's not a bad thing, but those aren't cookies I usually eat. I will eat them, but I'm not going to find them. What kind of cookie would I... chocolate chip cookie. Chocolate chunk cookie. Actually, if I think about it. Yeah, lovely spice at first, then sweetness, then I get that caramel note, then it gets a little prickly, then it fades, and then my tongue starts to get tingly and a bit numb. Not actually numb, but it's just alcohol. It's done a thing. It's annihilated everything on my tongue. But it doesn't do it because of the proof. Like if you told me this was 61%, I'd be like, is it? Sorry, 61.5%. That's 123 if you're wondering. Cliff, do you know the mash bill of this? It just says Texas mash bill. There was no way for me to find it on here, of course. We hope you enjoy this unique experience. Yes, well, I do. Looks like it was aged in Texas a minimum of 2 years. Who decided to use silver reflective font? Also, these are my old glasses, and I need new ones. At barrel proof. Just shine through. And again, sin responsibly. I feel like I should say that instead of take care of yourselves. It's like, please sin responsibly. That's a good one. Oh my gosh. Eva Williams. Almost. I don't either. I mean, let's do a little research. We got 15 minutes. Might as well. Let's see what they say. I know you could all look this up, but now I'm just, trying to figure out my own, for my own. This is actually what I used to do. If you've been here long enough, I would just go check out the webpage of whatever I was drinking to find out more, because I was curious. Me doing it for you, it's a thing. It's either they changed their bottles recently, or maybe they did it for their barrel picks, a different bottle. Because the ones I'm seeing now are... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, they have different ones. So they have some that look like this one, at least two, and then they have a slew of other ones, but they look more rounded shoulders. Honestly, I don't like those ones as much. They kind of look like flasks. Maybe they're a little bigger, but at a glance from the front, they look like flasks. Glass flasks, of course. But they have Distillery Select, Single Barrel, Cinnamon Bourbon. Of course they do. I can buy it in Rhode Island if I wanted. That's good to know. They have a little map. Award-winning bourbon, of course it is. Sinfully smooth whiskey. That is too long for a hashtag. Just call it sinful. Hashtag sinful TX. Boom, done. What am I looking for? Our story. Meet the maker, devil's advocate. Ba-di-da-da-di-da. A distillery. Da-da-da-da-da. The whiskey. Do-do-do-do-do. Agave bourbon? What? Excuse me. I'm not clicking on that, but I'm curious now. Is that even a thing? I mean, as long as the corn ratio is right, they can do whatever they want, really. Show me what the mash bill is, you sons of... You don't tell me. Why did I come here? Lone Star State. Yep, I know it's in Texas. Oh my god, why do web pages have to be like this? I can always ask Irene. I know she's busy. Maybe she'll know. I mean, I assume she does, but you never know. I certainly don't know. All I know is if it's a bourbon, well, it's 51% corn. Cliff, am I right? That's one of the things I always forget. Why? Why must web pages be this way? Alright, it has a little more, but good God. This is for the single barrel, and they're being vague about it. Dark honey gold for the color. Ripe fruit and strong vanilla on the nose. This is vague tasting notes. Rich caramel, peppery spice, and vanilla. You could say that about any bourbon. And the finish is smooth, brings a little heat, and lingering on the back palate. Well, the lingering on the palate is definite. But, I'll have to look this up later. Maybe I will find it through the Google. I've done that before. You can look up, or attempt to look up mash bills. It's harder than you think. Because all it tells me, like I said, was Texas mash bill. What does that mean? Bourbon whiskey. So 51% corn and the rest, I don't know. Barley, rye, tell me. Wheat. Oh no, lovely. I'm very glad I have this. Yep. I don't remember things very well, Cliff. You know this. That is one of the ones I'm fairly certain of. That was one of the easier ones. It's like 51% corn, or 51% rye, or 51% wheat. And that's how they clarify everything. It's like, depending on that, that's what it is. I assume malt has to be 51%. Again, I'm not an informationer. I remember the vagaries of it, but I need the confirmation. Like, my brain is like, this is what it is. And I'm like, is it? Are you sure? It's like, I just told you. I'm not sure about that. No, it is not. That's the job of some Psalms. Not me. I try to stay as informed as I can and know a little bit. I am bona fide. As well as Islam. This one? The Devil's River? We're trying... It says... here, hold on. Let's not do this with one hand. Yes, it is, Sugar Kitty. Focus, will you? Straight bourbon whiskey. So straight means 2 years, right? At least 2 years. Texas mash bill is the thing that's tripping me up. Again, whiskey measures QS02 caramel fudge. 207 of 222. So not many of these to begin with. Most of them are gone by now. I don't even know if she has any left. That's part of the reason I opened it. I can't really do a video about this when it's not going to be around anymore. That goes for the 3-chord too. One of my favorites, although very sweet. That is going to be gone and done and dusted soon. Scotch or Irish malt is 100% barley. That one I know because of, they say single malt. And when they say malt, they mean barley. And when they say single, they mean all of it. I think my problem is I have to have actual, like, I don't retain solid information like this is what the information is. I need to have something that's tied to the info. Like I just did there with malt. Just the fact that it's single malt and not single barley or single grain, which is a different thing. It's like, I do not learn quite like others, and it's frustrating. That's why I'm always so terrified about any kind of test or any kind of quiz or any kind of officializing. Like me being a Psalm level 2, I'm like, really? How did this happen? There must be a mistake. You know. That's how my brain works. It's great. Let's go back to this delightful luscious mouthfeel. Yes. Oh, that's right. See what I mean? What am I thinking about? I remember what I said. It's from the distillery, and that's when you get into... See, it's helped that I watch Aquavita's stuff, too, because he goes over this stuff all the time. But every time he pops up a quiz, I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm not doing it. I don't care. Single means from one distillery, and then you get into the madness that is trying to understand blends and other kind of things that they do over there that just confuse the hell out of me. Single grain is the one where it's like, well, what does that mean? It's like, I'm not sure. Plus, I have been in a bad mood lately, or a bad mental state for the past month. So any kind of actual information is fizzled away, burnt out. 75-21-4 mash bill, but doesn't come from the distillery who doesn't put it on their website. Yeah, I know. That's the thing that bugs me. They have a very typical distillery website where they just show you stuff, what you expect to see from a distillery and bourbons in general. It's fine. They got something, so better than nothing. But that's a lot of corn. I think I taste that more, but I don't. And it's just, I'm assuming the 75 is corn, and the 4, well, the 75 has to be corn. The 4 must be the barley, and the 21 is rye? It could be wheat, because this does not drink like the proof. But it does have some spice to it. So I'm curious. Which is it? Oh my gosh. I got all the cookies going through my mind. We had an array of Christmas cookies, like gingerbread. I still don't know what that actual cookie is. I know Mr. Greatshot said wedding cookie. I don't know what it is. Night, Emily. Cheers. Thank you for being here. Oh yes, that. Remember to do that thing, people. I know most of you did, but just in case. Do it! Turn that off. Whoa. So it's sitting there the whole time? Why? And I can't see chat. There we go. Yes. I started to get things crisscrossed. I know I'm thinking of... I swear it's Scotch. But there is... certain things with the Scotch industry where stuff gets shifted around in certain ways, and then they're called different things. What they are, I don't remember. But there's a bourbon one too, except that's, and this is one I've been struggling with for years. I still do. It's straight whiskey and bottle and bond. Because bottle and bond's the very specific ones. There's a whole set of rules. That one's 4 years, same distillery, same distiller, same season. And those are the rules? I might have missed something. But that's the bourbon one. The Scotch ones get insane. I don't know, Sugar Kitty. I guess. I only see them around Christmas, and they're like a chocolate cookie. They're like, they're that big. They look like they are cracked on the type, so they have like crisp cracks on top, and then they have powdered sugar on top of it. I don't know what it is, but that's what I thought of when I tried this whiskey initially. Among other things. A lot of cookie notes, chocolate cookie notes specifically. Not Oreo, oddly enough, but it's not that whatever that cookie is. Same mash bill as MGP. by the way, which does bring up questions. It does. It's a possibility, but as always, distilleries don't always like to give out all their info about what they're doing. We all wish they did. If we're in the whiskey world, usually we want to know what's going on. That's why I got, like, if it says on here Texas mash bill and they're using MGP, whatever. MGP is delicious. I just find that funny. If that's the case, we don't know if it is. It would just be hilarious. Grain can be 100% malted barley, just not distilled in a pot still. Loch Lomond do a coffee still one. Or a Scotch grain whiskey is usually made from corn or wheat. It's just so much information, so many little discrepancies and differences, and it just confuses the hell out of me. So I try to go in for the whiskey experience rather than the solid info about everything whiskey, which it's in there somewhere. It just gets confused and tied up and misplaced, we'll say. Not necessarily forgotten, just I don't know where it is. Italian cookies are almonds, definitely not chocolate at all. No, it was, we just said wedding cookies, but I don't know what those are either. But like I said, it's chocolate, it's like this big, it looks like it baked up and then it cracked. Not in a bad way, like I was supposed to do that. And then they get powdered sugar on top of it. I don't know what that is, but that's what came to mind initially with this whiskey. It's delightful. The mouthfeel especially, I will keep saying that, is, so good. Mouthfeel is very important to me with whiskeys, and if it's not there, I'm a little sad. This one definitely has the mouthfeel. Absolutely. Are they? I'm gonna look it up, Sugar Kitty. I'll let you know. Well, maybe. I'll probably forget. But I'm gonna look them up. I feel like they always came on a plate with a bunch of other varieties of cookies. Always around Christmas. And I don't know what they are. Ooh, it burned. Only a little. Again, the proof does not, it doesn't drink like the proof. 61.5%. Would not know. I would definitely think high 50s. 55 is what my mind is saying. But 61.5? No. Did not think that would be it. I'm enjoying it. I might add more water, or might add some water to it, because I'm curious what that would do, just in general. I only have a couple minutes though, so I will put 2 drops of water in here. I have about less than an ounce by the look of it. Again, if anyone else wants to guess, that's about an ounce, I feel like. I'll add 2 drops of water. Actually, I'll add 1 drop of water, see what happens, and then add another. Just because I feel like it. I don't do this very often on my own. I don't really explore whiskey as much, I just kind of go over them. The nose changed a little bit. Made me think of walnuts. Yeah, there's a waxy note. Now. 3/4. I figured. I like to round up just, I think it's about an ounce, I think. Crap. The mouthfeel's gone. It's not the same. Shit. That's just 1 drop of water, and that took away the mouthfeel. It's still there a little bit, but not nearly like it used to. So, if you have this, don't add any water if you enjoy the mouthfeel, which I do. But I guess I'm gonna add 1 more drop of water. Yeah, the middle of the bulb, right when it starts to curve, so around there somewhere. Around there somewhere. I put in 2 ounces initially, so I've drank at least an ounce. Ounce in there. Well, that's a little more than an ounce. So 1 more drop of water from me. Just see what happens. I'm probably not helping at this point. If I got rid of that mouthfeel, I'm sad. I'm angry about it. oils. Why don't you just stay there and be delicious instead of messing up and going all over the place? All right. That's our hour, folks. I'll be back on Sunday, as long as everything goes well. I assume it will. And wait. Yeah, Sunday. So with that, as always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KillCo Whiskey Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.